All right, welcome again, everyone, to live the life that you really want to live. I am so grateful that you're here today. And this is where we left yesterday, right? We left with this these critical self thoughts, and we spoke about the subconscious and conscious mind. But I do have good news about that. The good news is that you can use your conscious mind to reprogram your subconscious mind so that your life can really change dramatically. So, how many of you want to fire your inner critic? Raise your virtual hand if you want to fire your inner critic. Yeah. Me too. Me too. Okay. So that's what we're going to get about doing today. That's the business of today. All right. So let's see. This is the kind of thoughts that we want to be having, these self-loving thoughts, right? I'm calm and productive. I'm empowered. I am beautiful. I control my destiny. I am limitless. Fear is my friend. I am enough and I am brilliant. So that's what we're working on today. So here's my question to all of you. What if you're not who you think you are? You see, you have formed an idea based on the feelings and impressions that surround you. And when you were young, and you literally picked up that negative energy from people from the outside in, and you started to adopt that as a view of who you were. So many people go through life literally believing that they are a false identity that they are not. And what's sad is they don't know the truth. And the truth is that you are a beautiful, luminous light being that is having an experience as a human. But you are always both. You are always both. And some people have started to believe that they're limited. So here's a story that I love by Tolstoy. There's a beggar sitting by the side of the road, and he's sat by the side of the road for over 30 years. And a stranger walks by. So mechanically, the beggar holds out his old baseball cap and says, "Spare some change, sir?" And the stranger says, "I have nothing for you." "What's that you're sitting on?" And the guy says, "Hey, this is just an old box. I've been sitting on this old box, I think, for 30 years, as long as I can remember." And the stranger says, "Why don't you look inside? Look inside the box." So to his surprise, he opens the box, and with elation, he realizes that the box is filled with gold. And he's been setting on that gold his entire life. So I am the stranger that is telling you to look inside of you, because you hold the key inside of you to understand and know, not think, but know the beauty and the wisdom and the wealth that is inside of you. So let's talk about how we can make that happen today. Okay, thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Each one carries a specific energy and a vibrational pattern. So this is fascinating now, right? Because now scientists have actually proven, by taking images of the brain, they can see when you have a thought that it lights up the synaptic connections within your brain. And they can even track if you're on the right or left hemisphere of your brain. So it's important to understand that what we are, we attract, right? So like attracts like. So if each thought form has its own energy and vibration, when we sit like in negative thoughts, we receive negative from the universe. And when we sit in positive thoughts, we receive positive from the universe. And I know that sounds like a simple version, but it's kind of like the universe, the divine, right, is actually like a waitress in a restaurant, for a not having a better illustration. And what you order is what you get. and you are ordering every day, all day long, with the thoughts that are moving through your mind and the emotions and feelings that you're having during that day. So this is a incredible, whoops, this isn't, I don't know, are we having technical difficulties? This is a vibrational energy scale. And as you can see, you have on the right-hand side, depending upon where you are at, whether you're suffering or you're getting by or you're in flow, you either have a contracted version of yourself and contracted thoughts, or you have an expanded version of yourself, right? So there is a scale, and this was a scientific experiment that went into this for 5 years, to where they actually measured the vibration of energy on each one of these thought forms. So as you can see at the bottom of the scale, you have shame and guilt, apathy, grief, fear, and desire at the bottom of the scale. And at the top of the scale, you have enlightenment, peace, joy, reason, acceptance, willingness, and neutrality, and courage, and pride. So what we are trying to do is come up with a method for you to stay in the higher vibrations, so that you have these type of things where you are sitting in feelings of joy and peace and love and reason the majority of the time. None of us do this perfectly, guys. This is about spending more time on those more positive planes than on the negative ones, because then you will see that truth reflected back to you in your life. So how many of you think thoughts that you would like to change? Raise your virtual hand. If you think thoughts that you know you would be better. Yeah, me too. We all do. And the thing is, I'm sure we always will, right? Okay, so this is a really important slide, guys. This is a photo, a picture, not a photo, of neurons. So when your thoughts match in your brain, it's two neurons that actually come together. And as they fire together with the energy of the thought, they wire together. And why this is so important is that you have been thinking the same types of thoughts for a long, long time, depending upon how old you are at this point. And these thoughts become almost like a well-worn track. It becomes like a rut, for for no better words, like a rut in your brain, where every time you have a reaction to something that happens on the outside, something that triggers you, you go automatically into the same group of thoughts, right? I'm not enough. I don't know how to handle this. I'm not feeling good, whatever those thoughts are. So it's important to understand that when you have thoughts that wire together and fire together, they wire together. And this is the same thing is going to be true of building new neuron connects in your brain, where you have positive thoughts and positive paradigms, because as you start to think them and they fire together, they will wire together as well. And you will literally be able to change your mind. So the next slide is one that I also love. And I call repetitive thoughts and feelings that are linked together with synaptic connections, that as they wire together, they form what I call a taught habit pattern, or a thought habit pattern. But think about it. It's a habit. It's something that you've done repetitively and habitually. And it becomes a pattern of thoughts that lead to the same feelings that you normally have in situations of stress and situations of self-doubt, situations of fear. The same thought pattern happens. So I call it a taught, because you really were taught this process when you were very young, a taught habit pattern. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to rewire your thoughts. And this is the part I'm excited about teaching you, because once you have this simple process, you will always be able to take care of yourself and to rewire your negative paradigms into positive paradigms in your life. So let's get started. Okay, firstly, your first step is that we're going to talk about how to breathe. And we're going to talk about how to breathe in a way that helps you calm down in the moment when things are upsetting you. So you're going to breathe slowly in through your nose, and you are going to let the breath out slowly as though you're blowing through a straw. So I'm going to ask you to do it with me. Breathe in and slowly breathe out as though you're breathing through a straw. Breathe in slowly through your nose and breathe out slowly as though you're blowing out through a straw. And you want to pay attention to your breath as it moves in and out of your body. So as you should be feeling by now, you can see that you really start to calm down when you do this process. And the great news is that you have your breath with you everywhere you go. So no matter where you are, when something happens that stresses you or that you're worried about, or you start thinking a lot about worrying thoughts, you can stop and apply this. There's more to it, but that's the beginning. Firstly, you need to calm down and you need to move from your parasympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight, right? That horrible feeling like you've either got to come out and do something or you're going to run away, right? I think I'm an expert at flight. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty much an expert at flight. So, and I can do the fight too. But when we're in that part of our brain where it's fight or flight, we are releasing into our brain a lot of chemicals that are actually flooding our logic so that we have less chance of making the right decision. So it is incredibly powerful to slow down and slow our breathing down and calm down. Okay. The other thing is, I want to remind you that this is just a part of you. This is not all of you. When you're upset, it's a part of you. There are still the other parts of you that are logical, that are calm, it's all going on at the same time. But it's just that we focus so strongly on the one that we're upset with that we feel like it's all of us. So reframing your limiting thoughts and beliefs. This is the most important part of this process. You're going to stop, you're going to pause, the magic of the pause, and you're going to consider what triggered your thought. Then you're going to write down what that limiting belief was. What was that thought? What did upset you? And write down the thought. Next, you're going to write a thought that is life-giving, a thought that the person that you are choosing to become would think. What would that be, right? And you're actually going to replace the limiting thought with the expanded thought. A lot of people call them positive affirmations. Used correctly in the moment, especially, they can literally rewire your brain, rewire your mind. So that's next. And then the last one is that it needs to be done in the moment. This needs to be done in the moment that you are experiencing the crisis. So obviously you can't always do that, right? You're around other people, you're at work, you're in places where you can't do it. If you can, find a way to just breathe in and out, slow down your breathing if you're with other people and you cannot react, you can't respond to this at the time, right? That will at least help you calm down so you'll be more effective in the moment. Then what you do is you actually go and you write down the new positive affirming affirmation. And then it has to be done in the moment. Now, if you have to postpone it, when you get home or when you go back to your office or you get a moment, that's when I just want you to stop quickly and write it down and then calm and feel how good you feel when you say the affirmation, right? So maybe you're at your in-laws' house and you're telling them you want to start your own business and they're, kind of attacking you and telling you you don't have what it takes and blah, blah, blah. So you feel like your heart starts to go faster and now you're tapping your fingers or whatever nervous things you do. And then you remember to stop and you start slowing down your breathing with whatever's going on outside of you. Go inside, slow down your breathing. And then when you get home and you have a moment, rework it. And the positive affirmation may be, I am resourced by this amazing universe. I have everything that I could possibly need to be successful. And that's what you replace I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can own my own business, right? So I have a question, and this is really important. As you rewire your negative thought patterns, guys, what I want you to understand is those synaptic connections actually drop away. The old way of doing it drops away and it becomes replaced with this calm place, with this new affirmation, and that starts getting hardwired into your brain. So the thing is, there's a lot of people that just say, oh, just say an affirmation, or this is a process that is so simple, but practiced, it will change your life. It will change your life forever. So you are literally rewiring and coming up with a new vibration. So how many of you feel confident or as though you could use this simple process to rewire your brain? If you will raise your virtual hand for me. Yay, I see Jill. Others, thank you. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I'm going to make sure that you have this process on a piece of paper so that you can always look at it to know where to go. You can practice it when things are going well, taking things even better and even higher, right? But this process practiced, it becomes automatic and your life will change. So this is exciting. We are going to tomorrow, we are going to start dream building. And this is an incredible part of the process because you're going to walk away with literally a written down vision of what you want in these 4 quadrants of your life: relationships, health and well-being, vocation, time and money, freedom. So this is the criteria for your building your dream. You want to build a life you would love. You want to say, if I could live a life that I truly love, in each one of these quadrants, what would that look like? And you want to be as specific as you can. And then tomorrow, I'm going to ask that you please bring pen and paper because we will be taking the time to create in each one of these quadrants what life you would love to have. And remember, guys, it's not important. Like, don't listen to your brain, your mind. It's going to say like, well, you can't get that, or that's too far out, or you're not qualified, or no, no, no. You do not get to be involved in the how of your dream. The divine takes care of the how. I promise you, it's up to you to build the dream. And as you build the dream and you start imaging it, which will teach you in the next couple of days, you will find that it draws closer to you. As you draw closer to your dream, it draws closer to you. Thank you all for coming. I know we went a couple minutes over. I appreciate all of you. Let me see if I can see all of you. Let me stop this for a minute. And Patricia, Stephanie, Jill, Abigail, Patty, you guys mean the world to me. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, where we will finally stop and create the dream that you want. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Bye.